Time traveling. This sounded too far-fetched before, but now, not so much. One of the James Webb Space Telescope's science goals is to look back through time to when galaxies were young. Webb will do this by observing galaxies that are very distant, at over 13 billion light-years away from us. To see such far-off and faint objects, Webb needs a large mirror. A telescope's sensitivity, or how much detail it can see, is directly related to the size of the mirror area that collects light from the objects being observed. A larger area collects more light, just like a larger bucket collects more water in a rain shower than a small one. But what if these mirrors get accidentally damaged as it journeys through the vast universe? Will it be able to still carry out its purpose? Will a hit to the mirrors change the original path course of Webb? What preventive measures will NASA do to avoid this to happen? Hello there, and welcome back to the Discover Space channel, where we continuously explore the possibilities in this vast universe. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get on to the video. What if these mirrors get accidentally damaged as it journeys through the vast universe? Well, a part of it already took a hit. A tiny meteoroid has hit the James Webb Space Telescope's main mirror just over a month before the publication of the observatory's first real color images. NASA said the damage from the dust-sized space rock was producing a noticeable effect in the $10 billion telescope's data, but is not expected to limit the mission's performance. The Micrometeoroid struck the newly deployed James Webb between May 23rd and 25th, knocking one of its gold-plated mirrors out of alignment, but not changing the orbiting observatory's schedule to become fully operational shortly. NASA revealed that it was the fifth and largest space rock to hit the telescope since its launch last December. Analysis indicates that the impact left a dimple in the mirror segment known as C3, one of the 18 beryllium gold tiles that make up Webb's 21 feet wide primary reflector. Now for the million-dollar question. Will it be able to still carry out its purpose? The answer is yes, absolutely. That is according to NASA. The U.S. Space Agency added that the impact would in no way ruin the wow factor of the telescope's first views of the cosmos, which are due to be unveiled to the public on July 12th. After initial assessments, the team found the telescope is still performing at a level that exceeds all mission requirements. Engineers have begun a delicate readjustment of the impacted mirror segment to help cancel out a portion of the distortion caused by the micrometeoroid. Webb's mirror was engineered to withstand bombardment with dust-sized particles flying at extreme velocities in space. But the most recent impact was larger than was modeled and beyond what the team could have tested on the ground. Will a hit to the mirrors change the original path course of Webb? Well, for this minor damage, no, not really. Webb parked itself in a solar orbit roughly 1 million miles from Earth in January and is expected to yield its first color images next month. Officials have previously released a set of engineering pictures to demonstrate that all the hardware is working as it should in the telescope. Those images showed slightly different views of the large Magellanic Cloud, a small satellite galaxy of our Milky Way, but it is still unclear what the first full-color images will capture. Webb has been going through a 6-month period of preparation before it can begin science work, calibrating its instrument to its space environment and aligning its mirrors. With all other aspects of Webb still functioning at its full throttle, it's definitely safe to say that it won't be backing down anytime soon. Webb was launched to space on December 25th of last year and later settled into orbit 1 million miles from our planet. Scientists hope the observatory, a replacement for the 30-year-old Hubble telescope, will be able to peer back in time 13.5 billion years to a point within a mere 100 to 200 million years of Big Bang. It is truly an ambitious mission to study the early universe, work out how fast it is now expanding, and analyze objects throughout the cosmos ranging from galaxies to exoplanets. But then again, NASA said Webb was now at full power and ready to begin its science mission. Once each of Webb's instruments has been calibrated, tested, and given the green light by its science and engineering teams, the first images and spectroscopic observations will be made. The team will proceed through a list of targets that have been pre-selected before the images are processed for the public. It is undeniable that Webb is about 100 times more powerful than the iconic Hubble telescope, enabling it to observe objects at greater distances, thus farther back in time. This is as compared to Hubble or any other telescope for that matter. NASA likes to think of James Webb as a successor to Hubble rather than a replacement, as the two will work in tandem for a while. Now for our last question. What preventive measures will NASA do to avoid further damages to hit JWST? Well, that may be too vague to answer for now. The uncertainties that lie beyond the safety net of our planet vary, and we can't really say for certain what unforeseen damage JWST will face. What we know for sure, though, is that engineers designed it to withstand occasional impacts from micrometeoroids, tiny space rocks traveling at ultra-fast speeds during predicted meteor showers near Webb's location in space. The US Space Agency called the impact an unavoidable chance event and said it had convened a team of engineers to study ways to avoid future impacts from similar space rocks. And I guess it's safe to say that for this question, there is our answer. They are still formulating ways on how they can solve this issue in the future. And that's something that we can definitely watch out for. For now, what we know for sure is that the JWST is still right on schedule and will release those promised images sooner than later.